We are ready to get racing here in tricky conditions. It's gloomy out there, but it's dry for the start as we get going in MotoGP. And a great launch from Francesco Bagnaia. That's the best we've seen for him in a long, long time. Have a look for Jorge Martin down the inside.
Pedro.
Wow, around the outside, but he can't hold it down. And Bagnaia's going to have the inside line. Oh, Maverick Vinales sat up by first Frankie Morbidelli and then Jorge Martin, who's got away well again. But this time he is going to be further down the order. It's Bagnaia out of shape into turn 3 from Acosta in second place. The
Marquez for miles back.
Very late. But Bastianini in turn was going through on Brad Binder. Binder takes the green on the outside of the racetrack. Martin's going to attack Marquez down into the hairpin, and he's going to get through on him. He's also going to get through on Enea Bastianini. What a corner for Jorge Martin. Takes 2 of them, and Martin up to 4.
Honestly, it's so tight through the tight turn 10 hairpin corner. 3 abreast. I don't know if they all got through. Jack Miller.
What? Jack Miller sideways as he goes through on Marc Marquez. What a start to the race from Miller, 14th on the grid, and suddenly Miller is up into 6th. I apologise, he's into 5th place. Another first lap crash for Joan Mir. I don't believe it, I really don't. That's in the 12 and 13, that's a fast one for him and Alex Marquez if they've gone down together.
Oh, this is going to be a fast crash.
Oh, it's going to be horrible.
Oh, what a horrible crash.
Oh, look at how Alex Marquez's bike is wrapped up there with Joan Mir and eventually drags him down. Oh, and that's Pedro Acosta. After the sprint crash yesterday, he has now crashed out of second place in the race. One of the favourites for it today. But it's not been a weekend to remember. Despite that first pole position, no points scored.
Does he touch the curbs? He uses a lot of curb there. Could be. It's hard to tell from that angle. I mean, you cut the first part of the curb, and you obviously tight into victory corner.
And while that happened, Jorge Martin got through on Brad Binder as well. So perhaps Binder a little bit unsighted there. And through goes Martin. So that's released him to Bagnaia. It's worked out perfectly at this moment, hasn't it, for Martin?
It has.
Now Marc Marquez is coming from a long way back. Binder again.
Tricky.
Yeah, what he's doing is breaking so deep into the corner, Binder. He's leaving the door wide open.
Yeah, that's the way he does it. That's the line. You can see him sideways, but Marc was close enough to get it stopped. Clean pass.
You have to give credit, don't you, to both Martin and Marquez from 11th and 9th on the grid. They're sitting in the podium positions, and we're only on lap 5 of the race. If the rain does come, it'll be deemed a flag-to-flag race. The white flag will be waved. It definitely looks like maybe it's dirt. I think it's on that front onboard of Bastianini. Just there's a little smudge, isn't there?
No, what it is it's rubber flying up from the man in front of him. That's what it is. And there's that much of it hitting the screen. Right, he's positioned himself perfectly now. Bastianini should get the run through here, and he might have a look down into this corner here, into turn 9. He's set it up. He's going for it. He's going to go wide. The cut back, the classic cut back.
Oh, and then he gets the pump off the rear tyre.
Yeah.
And that's the problem the KTMs have actually been having, that when you're trying to open the gas with your bike just cranked over too much, you get this vibration. And so what does Brad Binder try and do to avoid that? He gets it trying stood up, doesn't he? Not to basically open the throttle on too much of the edge of the tyre, because that generates this vibration.
Yeah, you're right.
White flag's gone out. Riders are allowed to swap bikes.
Hang on a minute. I just sent Michael Lamont out the commentary box to see if it's raining, and he came in and he looked at me and he went, no. So he's sacked. Sorry, Michael.
At the front, the gap is down to 2/3 exactly of a second. 0.666 between Jorge Martin and Francesco Bagnaia.
Oh, both in deep here.
Again, Binder, is he going to cut back to the inside? Not on this occasion, and Bastianini needs to act quickly here. Martin chewing up the ground on Bagnaia. They've got that white flag. That means they can come in and they can switch to another bike, and that bike has to be shod with the opposite tyre of what they're currently running.
9.5 laps to go.
With watery sunshine coming through the clouds. You can just see the bright sunshine and the shadows underneath the bikes as they come out of the hairpin. Still some dirty, dark clouds around. How are the front tyres faring? We've seen some mistakes already. We've seen mistakes already from these two, 11 times this season. Close your eyes, Neil, and tell me who's the fastest rider on the circuit at the moment with 7 to go.
Number 23.
Of course it is. A 1:45.1 from him. Compare that to Marquez's 1:45.3, or Bagnaia's 45.4, or Martin's 45.6. He's half a second quicker at this stage than Martin and Enea Bastianini.
I've read this book before. I think I know this one. Is this the one where Enea Bastianini finishes third and he's the fastest man in the second half of the race?
Yeah. From lap 13 to 24 instead of lap 1 to 12. It's forever the story. And it's why this man is not keeping him in Ducati Red next year. And that's what we call putting the pressure on from behind. And that's what Jorge Martin is doing superbly at this moment in the race. The gap was at a second through the third split. It's under for the first time in a long time in this race. Jorge Martin down to 0.9 of a second now between himself and Pecco Bagnaia. This could be the championship right here, right now. This is what he will have in his sights. Can he threaten Bagnaia? Can he put the pressure on? Can he do like Bagnaia did to him back in Germany? Can he force the champion into a mistake? Or will he sit resolute? At the front of this race, there are 3 laps to go in the Japanese Grand Prix, with the sunshine now bearing down on top of them. The gap stands at 9 across the line. Another lap, he's taken 10th out of Bagnaia's lead. Through the first split, 1.1. Bagnaia coming back, pushing on for these latter stages of the race. The gap back out to 1.2 seconds. Bagnaia could have broken Martin here now. We switch the attention to third place and the battle between Marc Marquez and Enea Bastianini. And look, that will close them up in their battle to be on the rostrum at the end of the season.
Unreal, isn't it? There's no love lost between these two.
It's the last lap now of the Japanese Grand Prix. 1 to go for Pecco Bagnaia versus Jorge Martin. The gap across the line at 1.6. Bagnaia's responded superbly. In fact, it was Martin dropping his pace on that lap. He's into the 1:46s for the first time. And I think his race is run unless some drama befalls Pecco Bagnaia. Marc Marquez still hanging on in front of Bastianini. They are faster than the leaders, the pair of them, as they do battle for third. Bagnaia, who matches the likes of Casey Stoner, Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez by winning 8 in a MotoGP season. He is closing the gap down to 10 points with Jorge Martin in second place. A really good ride from Martin, you have to say, having started on the 4th row of the grid. Marc Marquez completes the podium in third. A great return for the Gresini man this weekend.